Richie Rich Show.
What is your case procedures that you will follow today while you review?
So that guy drives for Super Ego. Hey folks, what's up, man? It's Richie Rich here. Late night, I just got done working today. I wanted to make a video about something, man. I guess it's on my mind. And I might as well talk. I haven't made video a lot this year. Trucking has been, I don't know, y'all. It's been going, Do I wish for better times? I do. But, I'm stuck in this thing now. What you tell? I'm parked on a corner here in a truck stop. That's always a scary time because somebody can come around the corner and take out your whole hood. So I better turn on my park lights. Anyway, I'm making this video, man. I wanted to talk about immigration and trucking. As some of you guys know, I'm trying to leave trucking, and our president did a 180, and a lot of people got screwed. A lot of people are losing their jobs. A lot of jobs are closing. People who had opportunities are no longer there, including myself. But before my haters get too excited, before you start laughing and pointing the fingers, I want you to remember something. I still got a CDL. So I still have a job. Excuse me. Nothing's funny out here. Nobody deserves to go through hardship because of the president, That's the good thing about having a CDL, is that you can always get a job, hopefully. But I'm going to tell you something. Trucking might get a little harder. Some of these tariffs go into place, and people are not going to spend money. I think I'm going to post a receipt. I went to Burger King the other day in Birmingham, Alabama, and I bought a Whopper, just one Whopper, and I asked for extra tomatoes. Now, normally they used to charge 30 cents, right, for a tomato. They charged me $1.39 for one slice of tomato. I couldn't believe it. So things are getting a little tighter, a little harder. They are. Okay, we're in for a treat here. I don't know, but I wanted to talk about something real quick. And what was on my mind is this thing that's going on in Arkansas. Okay, there's a false narrative going around that Arkansas DOT is pulling trucks into the weigh stations and asking them to read a sentence. And if they can't read English or they can't comprehend English, their truck is confiscated. Their company is fined $5,000, and they can't drive through. They can't drive. Now, listen. A lot of that was going around the internet, and I'm gonna say I did my research, and those stories are false. Okay, those truck drivers telling those stories are lying and full of sugar honey iced tea, which a lot of truck drivers are full of. What's really happening is they are trying to pass an ordinance and a law to limit foreign truck drivers driving through their state. And if it passes, I'm sure the government will sign it into law. Okay, but these things are taking time, so it hasn't happened yet. Do I agree with it? So I'm gonna come at two angles with this. The first angle is driving in the United States is a privilege to anybody who's lawfully allowed to be here. Okay, so if you're an immigrant, come to this country lawfully, and you are allowed to obtain a license. Unfortunately, the licensing goes from regular license to CDL license. They ride the same wavelength, because a lot of the rights that you have with a driver license, you have the same rights with a CDL. I know it doesn't seem like you should, right? But you do. I mean, rights like if you had a handicap sticker on your personal car, on your regular driver license, you now have one on your truck. Okay. If you make a right turn on red that says no right turn on your car, you do the same thing in a truck. It's the same thing. Okay. So a lot of the laws when it comes to vehicle code are the same. Okay. And if you have the privilege to drive a regular car on the highway, on streets, you can also be extended the same privilege to drive a truck. Okay. Until the FMCSA or the government changes the law, you still have those same rights. Okay. For them to confiscate your truck, they need a court order to do that. Okay. Now, the court order would be when the government signs it into law. Then they can do that. The judges can enforce that. But not beforehand. Okay. If an officer gives you a ticket for $5,000, you do have due process. That means you can go to court. Okay. And you can mitigate your situation to get it out. Okay. And I'm sure that's going to happen a lot. I can see it already. Okay. But, you know, Arkansas State Police can confiscate your vehicle right there on the spot if you have a lawful, legal CDL. Okay. Even those guys, and I don't know if you guys realize this, even the guys who get caught smuggling drugs out of Laredo, and you go to that checkpoint there, and you see them there with 300 trucks seized and all that stuff like that, and you see one or two trucks sitting over there. What happens is they catch you with a pound of drugs or illegal immigrants in your truck or whatever the case may be. You're charged with a crime, and the judge signs the collateral of your truck. But only through a hearing does that happen. Now, they put those trucks there as a display, like an impound. Okay. Now, a judge can sign off of it, or he cannot, but it has to go through due process. Okay. That's how we work in this country. We have checks and balances, and I think this administration is starting to find it out. Okay. So when you guys don't feed into the hype about, Arkansas is passing, laws to limit immigrants from driving trucks. They will eventually, but those laws have to be scrutinized too. Okay. Immigrants are not the reason why trucking sucks. Okay. Or why we're seeing low rates and we're not making any money. It's not the immigrants' fault. There's a stereotype that immigrants are taking cheap freight, and that's why the rates are low. It's not them. You want to know who it is? Excuse me, guys. I tell you who it is. It's TA, Petro, Pilot, Loves. It's brokers. Okay. Those are the fuckers who are making it hard for truck drivers. Okay. The big five truck stops for surcharging everything 30 to 40%, even the fuel. Okay. It's ComData's fault for not allowing you to fuel at cheaper places because they want their percentage from the big five. Okay. It's brokers' fault for juxing the numbers on the on the rate cons, for being too greedy. If I was in charge of FMCSA, what I would do is have a Transparency Act to where every bill of lading that you got had the cost of shipment on there. And they can put it on there. They can, and you can go in there and calculate what they're getting and what you're getting as an owner operator. It's transparency. Okay. Prime is one of the companies that do it. They don't give you the actual bill of lading, but they give you something that shows you what they charge and their percentage cut for the lease guys. But everybody else doesn't really do that. Okay, you don't really know what the broker's getting off the top. You just get a rate contract after they take their little cut. Okay, and those are the guys who are eroding this industry. It's not the foreigners. It's not. It's companies that exploit truck drivers, that exploit labor. You know, they're the ones who are screwing us in this industry. Because I'm gonna tell you something. You know, I was watching a YouTuber on here, trucking with David H. He used to be a Prime driver, and now he's a Landstar driver. And I always get those comments in my videos. Rich, go work for Landstar. No, I wouldn't even touch it. Okay? I wouldn't touch it. Because I don't know if David H. realizes this. And this is one of the reasons why I didn't work for Landstar. But a lot of those agents have their own trucks. Okay? And a lot of those loads that you see on Landstar's load board don't even touch the load board. Because those agents are giving it to their drivers or their trucks. Okay? And Landstar allows us. They do. You know? If you listen to what he was saying, if he had a truck payment, he'd be making $300 a week. You know? Because the rates are low. Because Landstar is taking 35%. You know, not to mention whatever the broker or the BCO guy is taking. You know? People have too many hands in their pockets in this industry. And that's the problem with it. It's not immigration. It's everybody else ripping people off. And it's become a routinely standard business practice to rip off truck drivers. Okay? Because I'm going to tell you something. If we were to go from truck to direct shipper and find out how much they really paying to ship that load, everybody will be able to make a great living. You can be out here making a great living. You got owner operators out here who are making less than $1,300 a week. But you do. Owner operators, after their expenses and everything. You know? Everybody's getting ripped off. So it's not immigrants' fault. It's the system. It's how they do things here. Okay, it's their fault. It's Flying J's fault for charging 30-40% more in fuel. It's their fault for charging 30-40% on a hot dog, on a soda. Okay? You got people out here just ripping truck drivers off. You know? Mechanics charging out crazy fees. Listen, I had to get a jump the other day because I turned my APU off when I went home. You know, I wanted to save some fuel, and I guess my battery somehow drained from my inverter, which I forgot to turn that off. I don't know how I did. But the guy only came down the street, which was about 15 miles away. And I didn't have a jumper cables or a box to jump my truck. But I just got the bill. $481 to jump my truck for 15 minutes. Doesn't make sense to me, right? That doesn't make sense. Should have been $100, you know? $481. That's who's fucking the industry. People. Okay? So, it's not immigrants' fault, man. Do I like, you know, as an ex-law enforcement guy, do I like foreigners driving trucks who can't read or speak English? No, I don't. I think it's dangerous, okay? But our government allows it. Our government gives tests in different languages in certain parts of the country, okay? Doesn't make sense to me. Where all the signs in the country, as far as, you know, the street signs and the speed limit signs and the highway signs are all English, okay? But we have a problem with that. We do. So, you know, the only reason I got on here because a lot of guys are spreading false information about the Arkansas deal. And it's bullshit. You know, they're not confiscating your truck on the side of the highway and giving you and your company a fine for $5,000. No. But they're trying to pass laws, and maybe the governor of Arkansas, I think it's Huckabee. She's pretty conservative, so I'm sure she'll sign into law. But until that actually happens, I'm sure it's going to be a lot of constitutional ACLU and all those other fucks going to be out there appealing it. Okay, I'm sure they will. So that's going to be a long battle until it actually takes place. Would that help the trucking industry? No, it wouldn't. Because all they'll do is drive down to Louisiana or drive up to Illinois to go through. They want to use Interstate 40. Okay, even though Interstate 40 is a major thoroughway, they just won't. They'll go around it. Okay, they'll reroute themselves. But that's what's wrong in the industry, man. You know, you got these companies charging exuberant prices for leases. You know, you got these companies. You know, it's their fault that, you know, trucking is shitty. Okay, trucking has turned into an exploitation business. That's what it is. It's exploitation, and there's no simple way to say it. You know, truck drivers are exploited because at the end of the day, most companies think, you know, what are you going to do? Go get another trucking job, or you're going to quit. A lot of guys, you know, I have a buddy, right? I had to give a recommendation for a job. He left trucking. He's leaving trucking, and he's going into law enforcement. And the sheriff's office called me from the county that he applied for a recommendation. I gave him one. You know, we've been friends for years, so I kind of encouraged him to, you know, go that route, and he finally pulled the trigger. Okay, he works for Prime, and you know, when the investigator told him, he said, "Well, I'm having a little hard time finding some of your job references." I said, "Yeah, I mean, trucking is like that. Okay, they don't know you personally, and it's hard to get a recommendation because they're like, well, I remember the truck number, maybe, or only thing I can tell you is he worked from this to this day, maybe, but they can't give you a reference of what kind of employee you were, or what kind of person you were, you know, because there's 30,000 other people behind you, especially at Mega Carrier Prime." And he said he's having little issues. I think he'll get the job still. They're just going to have to work around it. But still, you see the complexity from going from truck driver back to regular 9 to 5, right? It's kind of hard, you know, because a lot of jobs want to know where you've been and what you done did, and they want to talk to people who knew you. So, but hopefully, I wish him the best of luck, and I hope he gets it. Okay, you know, his main issue was the pay. It's not consistent at Prime. It's not. You know, he's barely making any money. He's working himself to death. Plus, there's no benefits, no health benefits, no pension, no anything. You know, and that right there should tell people that trucking is very exploitative, right? When you don't have any fringe benefits coming with this job. Okay, yeah, you can make some money. You can make some money when things are great and everything goes great. That week goes great. But then what happens at the end of the day? What do you have to show for it, right? Because I'm gonna tell you something. Making $1,500 a week is all fine and dandy, but what are you gonna do for taxes? What are you gonna do for pension? What are you gonna do for Social Security? You know, how are you living your lifestyle? Okay, you can't. I mean, if you're a single man or a woman with no responsibilities, no dependents, okay, and that you're able to stack away half your check or your whole check every time you get paid, then yeah, you're winning at trucking. But the majority of us have families and dependents to take care of, and we really can't do that. And, you know, with the cost of living increasing and what's going to happen in the next few months, it's going to be hard to save a penny for anybody. Okay? It is. Not to mention, what's going to happen is truckers are going to be exploited even more. That's what's going to happen. People are going to be exploited. So, it's going to happen. But, I don't know, guys. You tell me how you feel, what you think about it. You know, if Arkansas, that's a good idea. Now, if Arkansas does it, maybe the whole entire country will, but still ain't going to stop our problem from being exploited and taken advantage of. We need full transparency. That's what trucking needs, full transparency. We need to cut out the brokers. We need to hold these mega carriers and these big 5 truck stops accountable for raising fuel. You know, that's the issue. That's the problem. Okay, exploitation. That's trucking. So anyway, guys, listen, I'm about to disappear. I know I don't make a lot of videos, and you know, for my haters, which I have some. Yeah, I did have some issues trying to cross over to the feds. I did. Trump came into office and shut everything down. But you guys got to remember, I have a CDL. have a backup, so I have a job, right? See me in the truck. And eventually, I guess things will go my way. It's gonna take a little time though, right? So, Richie Rich is still gonna be with you guys to the present. And I guess we're gonna see, make this thing carry on. Anyway, peace and love, man. I hope everybody's doing good. And we'll talk very soon, all right? Peace. I really hate Walmart. Appointment's at 4 o'clock. It is now 11 o'clock. And I'm in Gordonsville. Only brought iced tea fucking here. That's all. Now, there's nowhere, like, I'm the last truck. And there's nobody, like, where I'm gonna park at after I leave out of here. You know, but Walmart don't care. They take their sweet ass time unloading you. And then rush you off the property once they're done. You know, Walmart just fucking bites how they treat fucking truck drivers. Shitty ass fucking place. So here I am, finally got my bills in hand. You know, Walmart just, I hate how they treat outside carriers. It's like they don't care. You know, and then they got 10 football fields, big lot, where they should let you park here. Because right now, my clock, these fucking electric clocks, my clock's on 000. I can do them by PC. And they won't even let you park here. They kick you off the lot. You know, look at that. No trucks here. Why does it take them 6 hours to unload a fucking trailer full of fucking juice? You know, Walmart's just horrible how they treat outside carriers, man. They disregard your time. You know, Walmart has cost me money in the past. I'll never forget, I was fucking stuck in Wisconsin one time at a Walmart that they want to take 7 fucking hours to unload me. And it cost me to miss $4,500 load that was next. But they didn't give a fuck. Walmart just, it's awful, man, how they treat people. Awful. You know, there should be a law passed that if corporations like Walmart, Target, you know, all these Fortune 500 companies, they keep you past 2 hours, they pay you in cash. Okay? Being an owner-operator, you lose money. And it need to be 50, 60 bucks an hour in cash. So if they want to take their sweet fucking time, you can leave here with cash in hand or a T-check or something. You know, instead of the bullshit. Fucking Walmart. Anyway, guys, I'm getting out of here, man. Talk to you soon. Everybody be safe.